If you're new, welcome. This is Tasty J. Today I'm just going to be doing a noodles and co video. I got macaroni and cheese, which I haven't had from them since I was a little girl. And then I got a side of cheese sauce, you get extra. And then I got this orange cream soda to drink. I didn't get this from Noodles and Co. So. And then I got this as well. On the side. So, like I said, it has been a while. if you're a subscriber, you know it's been a while. I think it's been a couple months, but I can't get this open, but I did post a short of me that I also posted on TikTok, and it's just me. I went to my state fair. Was that last week? I think it was last week. I went to the state fair here last week. So I just posted a video of me eating a bunch of stuff. But other than that, I haven't been posting, and it's just been, life has just been lifing. Here it is. Their macaroni and cheese always looks kind of plain to me. I haven't had it since I was little, but from what I remember, it's good. I'm not a big macaroni and cheese fan anymore, like I was. But from what I remember, I liked their macaroni and cheese. So we're gonna see how it is today, and then because it just looks kind of plain, you know. So I got the extra cheese sauce on the side. I'm gonna try it. If my camera is crooked, y'all, like I said, I ain't did this in a couple months, so I apologize if it's crooked. It looks fine to me right now. I can't tell. But if it is, I am sorry. I mean, it's not giving me whoppy sounds. It's not giving whop sounds like I expect my macaroni to. So I'm gonna just eat some first. It is good. So how are you guys doing, y'all? As you can tell from the title of the video, life has been like I said before, lifing. I'm just gonna pour this on there. So it's extra cheesy. So yeah, y'all, oh, it's kind of salty by itself. So yeah, y'all, this is life. This is I've just been living or existing, I guess. So summer is officially over. Just with the extra cheese. Summer is officially over. As I'm recording this, it's actually September 9th. And yeah, like I said, life has just been doing what it do. I don't even know what to say. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I decided to quit my job. So I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update on where I'm at. I know I haven't been posting because that's just been where I'm at. So I decided to quit my job. If you guys don't know, I mentioned previously in other videos that I work in the education field, but I never said how. So the job I quit, I didn't just quit it, but I quit it with no backup plan. And the job I quit, I worked at a school. I wasn't a teacher. I worked in the office dealing with students' attendance. And so when school's out for the summer, I'm not working. I wasn't working. And so essentially what my job was dealing with student attendance. So when parents would call their kids in to be absent for the day, or they would leave messages or send emails, me and one of my coworkers, I had like a partner basically, and we did it because we had over 2,000 students attendance that we were dealing with. So we split it by grade. So essentially, just to give you guys a rundown of my job, I worked at a high school. Like I said, dealing with like fixing students' attendance, things like that. We also had to, like, per our state guidelines, I live in Minnesota, and per our state guidelines, students have to be withdrawn from the school if they are consecutively missing school for 15 days, regardless of the reason. So we were in charge of withdrawing students as well, things like that. And honestly, guys, I had worked at this high school previously in a different position that wasn't like that. And then I left because I had moved out of state. And then when I moved back in state, I had a different position. I hated it. So I decided to apply back here for this position. And this was a position that was open. And they got rid of my position that I had before, which was a whole different thing. But they got rid of that position. So when I came back as an attendance person. So even when I worked there before, I did not care for it, and even in my old position, but I still preferred it better than the position that I came to in attendance. This is good. It literally tastes like a creamsicle. So essentially, when I worked there before, it was pre-COVID, and when I worked in my previous position, we had a front office full of people. So like the main office had a bunch of people in different positions. So then when I left, and then when I came back when COVID was still, popping. In 2021, beginning of 2021. And by then, a lot of people had left, but they also weren't filling positions because of the whole guidelines, and it was like the office space isn't big enough for it to be a full office like it used to be, and also have like the social distancing and stuff like that. So it's just me and my coworker doing the whole office instead of the office full of people. So there's no secretary anymore or anything like that. When I came back, I already knew the people who were there, but when I came back, not that long after, one of my coworkers had switched to a different position. The person I was working with closely ended up switching to a different position that paid more in the building. So then I was alone in the attendance position doing attendance for 2,000 students by myself. And it wasn't that bad. at the time because it was still like dealing with COVID. So essentially a lot of people were it just wasn't as bad because they still had the option to come in person or do distance learning. So a lot of the times it was like kids can be home, and I mean it still got tough because it's still a lot to deal with, but it wasn't that bad because it was like students could be at home doing distance learning, and then the parents who wanted their kids to come in person, they could do that. And so it kind of like still kept things a little bit split. And then the following year, which was 2020, 2021, 2022, it went back to full-time in person, and it was terrible. And so at that point, they had finally replaced my old partner, and so I had another partner, and me and her got along beautifully. But it was so tough. Like, and when I say tough, I'm not talking about the job itself. It was just so tough with all the stuff we were dealing with, the incoming grades. There's just a lot of behavior issues. I'll say that. And it was just really, really tough. But it still wasn't the worst. It wasn't that bad because it couldn't have been that bad because we both came back to the position last year. So 2022, 2023. But beforehand, we were informed that the incoming freshmen, freshmen were going to be pretty rough. Like their classes at the middle schools in the district, people knew them already and knew that they had behavior issues. And that was the case. They did have behavior issues. Just constant fighting, skipping class, stuff like that. But it wasn't just that. I ended up finding out later that it wasn't just the incoming freshmen. And we already had behavior issues before, so that wasn't nothing new, but it was just like it was getting worse and worse. And so then I found out later through the grapevine that we also were accepting a lot of students that others, like schools in the area, were kicking out. So students could get kicked out of their home school or whatever for, I don't know, they were expelled for whatever, fighting too much, drugs, things like that. And we were the school that was accepting them back. So then you have kids that are doing that and you're bringing them there, and you have the kids that are already there who are already causing problems. I feel like it just increased tenfold. So where does that fit in with me? With those students came their parents. I mean, for the most part, the students were fine when I dealt with them, when I had to deal with them in my position. I have had fights break out right in front of me though. But the parents make it worse. You know, if the students are bad, they get it from somewhere, right? And I feel bad saying that because there are some parents where when you come in, you know, when their kid would get in trouble and they would come in and they would be so apologetic that their kid was misbehaving and stuff like that. But most of them weren't like that because we don't have a secretary or anything like that. Me and my coworker were the ones to deal with it. So my coworker who I was talking about that I worked with the 2021, 2022 school year, she worked with me that full year. We started out last school year, 2022, 2023 together, and then by November she had applied for and gotten a different position in the building. And her reasoning was the same thing, dealing with the parents and excuse me, it's already bad enough dealing with some of the students, and I feel so bad saying all this, but I'm speaking my truth. It's already bad enough dealing with some of them, but you put in their parents, and it's just so much worse. I've just been like belittled. I've it's just very, very rough. I like don't even have the words for it. I've had parents threaten me over stuff with their kid getting in trouble, like threaten to harm me physically, and for stuff that just didn't involve me. So you mix in like the stuff, having fights break out in front of you, security issues, things like that, and you add in the parents who are, you know, I'm basically on the front line. Me and my coworker, my new coworker. So they ended up hiring someone else right after, and me and her got along just beautifully as well. So at this point, since I started working there in 2021, from 2021 to 2023, I've had worked with three coworkers, three people. So that's how basically the turnover for that. And yeah, it's just we're basically the front line because there is no secretary or anything like that. It just got to be a lot to deal with mentally. This past school year was the worst. Like I said, I was threatened. I had fights breaking out in front of me. And along with that, we're basically supposed to, even though we're supposed to be doing attendance, because there's no other staff there, we're doing everything by ourselves. Just us. And so we are essentially security as well for the building. You know. And I didn't apply to be security. So if someone's trying to get in the building or anything like that who's not supposed to, I'm the one who's supposed to be keeping them out. Me and my coworker, we're supposed to be keeping them out. This isn't what we signed up for. We signed up for attendance. We're supposed to be dealing with students' attendance. Them being absent, them being present. Their parents calling in to fix their attendance. Their parent calling in to get them excused. You know. That's what we signed up for. Why am I acting as security? I don't have any security training. You want me to stop a parent from trying to bum rush into the school and because their kid got into a fight, and I'm dealing with 1,000,001 other things because you don't have anybody here. Meanwhile, another parent is going off on me for something else, but you want me to be dealing with other stuff. It got to be too much, and there was no support. And so I've applied to jobs and I haven't heard anything, but so during the school year I was applying to jobs, I hadn't heard anything, and then it got to a point where I was like, you know what, I might as well just finish out this past school year that just ended. And I think I said this earlier, we get the summers off, and so it came down to it. I finished out the school year. My third coworker, my third new partner, finished out the school year, and she was planning on returning in the fall. So now this fall that just started, but she had applied for a different position starting in the building as well. So at that point, that all three of them have applied and tried to go to different positions in the building. That tells you how bad it was. I consider myself strong. I've dealt with a lot in life. Mentally, I was strong. But not anymore. That's how I felt after. You can only deal with so much, you know. You can only deal with so much. And so we finished out the school year together. And as the end of August was approaching, I had to make that decision. because we come, like, normally we come back the week before school. School starts the day after Labor Day. Normally we come back the week before school, like staff do, to do like staff development and stuff like that. So I had to make the decision on, but like I sat down with myself and I'm like, do I want to do this another year? Because at this point I have no backup plan. I don't have a job lined up, even though I've applied to stuff. I don't have a job lined up yet. And the smart thing to do is to wait until you find a job. So to go back and do it until you find another job. Excuse me. But as I sat there and just sat myself down, and I started thinking about the previous school year and just how things were worse, and being threatened and stuff like that, and I literally started to almost have a panic attack just thinking about returning to my old position. So even though I don't have a backup plan, I decided to quit. And so I sent my resignation in 2 weeks before school started. Actually, it was like 2 weeks and a day before school started. And you know, it just got to a point where I'm like, I have to put myself first. If I'm having panic attacks, if my mental health has declined significantly because of the stuff that I'm dealing with at work, that says something. That says something. You know, you're in no position is worth your mental health. No position is worth your mental health. And that's just what I had to tell myself, you know. Because at the end of the day, you can sit here and you can stress over it and carry all of the negative energy of your job with you home. And that's what was happening. You know, it was a couple days last school year where I literally just had to take a few mental health days. I remember there was one time where I like used my sick time to take like 2 or 3 mental health days in 1 week, like just back to back to back, because that's how emotionally drained I was. Nobody wants to have to deal with it. And I didn't even mention this, but like along with all of this other stuff, the parents acting crazy, the students acting crazy, students getting kicked out for drugs and this and that left and right, along with all of that, we're supposed to be doing our actual job, which is attendance. So we're not getting that stuff done like we're supposed to. So more and more work is piling up. We can't get anything done because we're constantly dealing with all this other stuff that's happening physically in front of us, or we're physically being yelled at by parents over something that happened in the building. My kid has a problem with this teacher in blah blah blah, like, you know, stuff like that. Parents yelling at us about stuff like that that's outside of our control. Excuse me. And so we can't get stuff done. There's only so many hours in. There were so many days last year where I would stay late, like an hour late, past my shift time, to just try to catch up on stuff. And even at the end of the school year, we couldn't catch up on everything we needed to. So it was like mentally, and I was just taking some of that stuff with me, you know. It's just a lot. And so like I was saying, no job is worth your mental health, because at the end of the day, they're going to replace you. If you literally unalived or were unalived or, you know, passed away, your job is going to replace you. If you're working for somebody else, your job is going to replace you in a matter of time, you know, because at the end of the day, the way they see it is things just have to keep going. And I mean, I quit 2 weeks before school started, and I come to find out my coworker, my partner, also quit. So the one who was going to be the third one who was going to be leaving to go into another position in the building, she completely quit too. So she didn't even go to, she's not even going to the other position in the building. She completely quit too. So we both quit. Several other people in the building quit too over the summer. And I think everybody's just tired of dealing with it, you know. But in terms of our position in attendance, I quit 2 weeks before school start, and lo and behold, I already know that my boss was able to find someone to replace me and my coworker in just that 2 weeks. So it just proves right there, they're gonna keep moving. They're gonna keep, life goes on. They're gonna keep moving with or without you. So it just once again proves there's no point in, you know, breaking your back over a job or putting your own mental health at stake over a job. And that's something that I really had to tell myself, you know, and I also had to like talk to people about it, like my mom. And yeah, so that's where I'm at. I don't have a backup plan. I don't have a job lined up, as you can tell by the title. But I had to put myself first. And I know I'm going, you know, like, you have to deal with the financial things, bills, things like that. But I had to put myself first. So yeah, like I said, I had to just put myself first. And I'm one of those people who, you know, there's some people who would just quit a job like that. They don't care. I've never been that type. I've always been the type of person who's like, I have to have something lined up. And, you know, I'll deal with it until I find something else. But this was just one thing. The fact that I sat there and I, like, had a panic attack thinking about just thinking about going back, to me that's enough proof that it's not meant for me to be there. Another thing, I just know it wasn't meant for me to be there. Because it's like, even though it's stressful, because it's like, the unknown is scary, right? You don't know, when you don't know what's next, it's kind of like scary, you know? But how I know I made the right decision, even though, is because when I sent the when I sent the resignation email to my supervisor, after it was sent, it was just like a weight had been lifted off of my shoulders. I just felt so much lighter. I felt good about it. And that's how I know I made the right decision. So, even though I don't know what's going to happen next, and I'm looking for jobs and things like that, I know that I made the right decision because of how I felt after. And you know, this isn't necessarily going to be the right decision for everybody, right? I'm very lucky because I live with my family. So I have that support. I know everybody doesn't have that support. Some people really do just have to stick it out until they find something better. I realize that. I'm very, very fortunate, very blessed. And so I realized that not everybody has the opportunity. But for me personally, just in my situation, excuse me. But for me personally, my situation is just like I said, I had to put myself first because I've always been one of those people who just stick things out. I've stuck at jobs longer than I ever wanted to. like jobs that I didn't care for either, that longer than I wanted to, because I'm the type of person who sticks things out. But this time I was like, I have to do myself first, you know. So yeah, so that's where we're at in life. I know it's not easy, and it's not gonna be easy. I mean, I gotta find another job, right? But just the simple fact that I felt so much relief. It was just like stress just left my body. Obviously, I'm still stressed. Stress is just natural, right? But it was just like so much stress just left my body after I sent that resignation in, and I'm just like, it's hard to put, like, make me feel down now. You know, and the fact that I feel like that to me says that, you know, says that I made the right choice. And I am just looking forward to the future. So that's what I've been doing with in my absence that I've been gone. I went to the Beyonce concert. I had fun. That was amazing per usual. I want to go again, but I'm probably not going to, because that would require traveling to a different state, and considering I ain't got no job now, I can't do that. Just up and do that anymore. But yeah, that's where I am in life. And I feel good about it. I feel like there's so many other people who can relate, you know? There's so many other people who can relate to just quitting a job without a backup plan. Because after a certain point, it's just like I said before, the job is not worth your mental health. It's not. It's still going to be there whether or not you work there or not. So yeah, and then on top of that, it's kind of like you just have to take a chance. Like I said, I've never done this before, but I'm tired of just like living life in limbo. You know, being in a job I hate, living life in just limbo. And I don't like to, I try really hard not to compare myself to people on social media or things like that. But it's just like after a certain point, it's hard not to though, right? But you know, part of some of the things that you see on like social media, whether it be TikTok or whatever, you know, you see people out living their life, and it's like, that's because part of the, I mean, you can only trust social media so much, right? But excuse me, a lot of the times these people are living their life and doing these things because they decided not to live their life in limbo. They got out there and decided, you know, I just thinking about people who, like, for example, become influencers, full-time influencers, and it's like, that's because they took a chance on themselves and decided, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, and it paid off for them in the end. You know, it's just different things. Or like people who are like taking trips to different places across the country, and it's like they decided to live life, and I didn't feel like I was living life in the position I was in. Like I said before, I really did carry the baggage with me home too. It affected me mentally, emotionally, everything at home. And I'm like, so it's like I'm already spending my day there all day, and then I come home and I don't even feel like I can relax because I'm still mentally tied up in what happened at the bed. And I'm just doing it over and over again every day. And now I'm just like, the sky's the limit. That's honestly how I feel now that I quit. Like, anything is possible. You just have to take that chance. And that's what I feel like I did by quitting. I definitely took a chance, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm still pretty young. So I still have a lot of life, a lot of life left in me, right? But I I feel now that like I can finally start living. Like I'm really thinking about trying to make plans and things like that after I get a job, obviously. But excuse me, but trying to make plans. Like just yesterday, my sister and I were talking about when I turned 30 and like I turned 30 in like a year and a half basically, and I want to plan a trip, a girls trip, and I want to go to Japan. So then yesterday, me and my sister were talking about it and stuff like that, and it's like I've only, you know, like I haven't taken a big trip like that. You know, I'm really trying to get out there and explore. These are things that I wanted to do when I was even younger than I am now. You know, my early 20s, for example. And I feel like I just got so tied up in school and focused on school, and then I got so tied up in work and focusing on work and being stuck at jobs that I hated. And so, like I said, the sky's the limit at this point. I'm just gonna focus on living, honestly. And I feel like I can do that. I feel more like I can do that now that I'm not in that position that I was in with that job. So yeah, that's what's going on. I already said that, but that's what's going on. I don't know. I'm like looking, applying, but I know that I'll be okay. No matter what, honestly, I really do feel like that. Everything is gonna be okay. I trust in the universe to take care of me. I'm gonna open this cookie and try it. I still have some macaroni left. I'm gonna save the rest. But it's kind of cold now because I've been talking too much. So it ain't as good. So it's not as good. I'm gonna have to warm it up. But it's still good. But I haven't had this cookie. It's a, you know, I'm not a big chocolate person, but it's a chocolate chunk cookie. And what made me get it though is because it's oatmeal too, or according to the website or the thing it was. So, and I like chocolate oatmeal cookies. It's okay. And then definitely oatmeal. It's pretty good. But yeah, so that's where I'm at, and the way I say it is it's only up from here. But yes, I hope you guys are doing good. I already said this in one of my old videos. I have a few videos that I have not uploaded that I recorded. So I will be doing those. I don't know when. I don't even know when I'm gonna do another video. I'm just trying to be smart with my money until I find a job, you know. So I might upload the old videos, and I don't remember even what they. So there's things in there that already happened that you probably hear. I feel like one of them I saw about my sister's graduation, which happened back in May now. So I'm in the meantime, while I'm trying to save money, I'll probably upload those. Okay, next one I'm just ranting. But yeah, that's it. I hope you guys are doing great. If you're still listening, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, I just hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day and time, and you're living life. My favorite season is fall in Minnesota. We basically get in there. It's starting to cool down, so I'm so happy. Y'all, it's been so hot. The 90s, 80s and 90s. And I know, like, for some people it's hotter. I've been to places that get hotter, like Las Vegas. But we got the humidity too, and it's not fun. So fall is my favorite season, and so I'm happy that we're finally like approaching fall. So there's that. And yeah, that's all I have. I hope you guys are having a beautiful, beautiful day. I'm just starting to think about things too in the future, like, you know, the holidays and things like that. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to spooky season, and it's just like the little things, the little things, right? So yeah, that's where I'm at. And again, I hope you guys are doing great, and thank you so much for watching. That's all I'm going to be eating for today. I was thinking about doing something like maybe some more of this home cooked meals or something like that. I've been like a Trader Joe's fiend for like, I don't know, probably like 5 months now, honestly. 5 or 6 months. So I don't know. I got this book that's a Trader Joe's book, like cookbook. So I don't know, maybe I'll try doing that, and I can do a video with stuff like that. I don't know. I want to kind of branch out though, you know, instead of just always doing I know that's what people like to see, fast food, but just trying different things. Yeah, I've been so out of the loop though, like, because I haven't been doing videos, I haven't been trying like new fast food items like I was. It's just been a few fast food items. I was like, oh, that'll be good for video, and I just haven't done it. So, but I'm like, I don't always want to eat fast food. I am trying to be healthier. Anyway, I'm just ranting. This video is gonna be way too long, so excuse me. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day, a beautiful week, weekend, whenever you're watching this. And yeah, just keep on living. Okay, thank you. Bye.